This weekend we're at Spa for the Summer Classic by Peter Auto. We've got 4 cars here. We have the Aston Martin DB4 GT Lightweight, the Lola T210, the Lotus Elite, and the Nissan NPT-90. So pretty big spectrum of cars. We have 10 hours of track time across all of the cars. I've been out in all of them. It's all been going pretty well so far. So we'll see how the rest of the weekend goes, but so far so good. Racing at Spa is always incredibly special. Like, if it's one of those unique tracks, like you have, you know, the Nürburgring, Monza, Hockenheim, like tracks that were iconic in period that these cars raced on in period. So to get to come here and drive and race on this place with, obviously with any car, but especially with the historic stuff, is always feels a little special. I love the historic racing paddock. Like, the cars have so much character. You've only got to look, just the noise, like it's just so evocative. And then you've got like 50s GT and 60s and Classic Endurance Racing 1, which is what we have the Lola in. They're just, it's just, you could just record the sound and just listen to that over and over. For me, having era present at all these events is a really big part of why I set era up, honestly. Although obviously most people now know us as LMP2 team, Asian Le Mans Series champions, Daytona Rolex 24 winners. We've done Le Mans, European Le Mans Series. Why I set era up was purely focused around historic racing, and we've deviated a little from that path, but now having the workshop in the UK, historic racing is so prevalent and growing within Europe itself that it's important for me to have a presence at these events, showcase the cars, showcase how, you know, well they're prepared, how fast we can make them go, how safe they are and how reliable they are. Obviously, the corner that everybody knows is Air Rouge. It's challenging. Each car kind of has its own idiosyncrasies, and it's a little different in each car. It's definitely a physical track in the Group C, the Nissan NPT-90. My neck's got a bit of a workout. Definitely my arms have got a bit of a workout. Obviously, no power steering, and just through like Blanchimont, you're just holding on to the thing, and it's trying to rip the steering wheel out your hands. The Nissan is only recently just arrived from the States, so it's been a lot of fun to drive. It's very hard work. It's incredibly physical to drive. So it kind of, having spent a lot of time in a modern prototype, to step back into an early 90s prototype, like those guys, big arms is needed to drive that thing. It's one of those tracks where every time you get to come here, every time you get to race here, it's just something you probably shouldn't take for granted. Aston Martin DB4 GT Lightweight, again, super cool car, ex-Works car, John Ogier Team Essex, 17 TVX, and as well as the sister car was 18 TVX. So both of those have been out recently. Our one has had a couple of issues at Goodwood. We had a hub shear, so it's been on a massive development kick since Goodwood. Like, everything has been replaced suspension wise, just trying to get on top of the lifing with the car. Basically, it's first time out since the rebuild, and I'm delighted with it. It's so much fun to drive. So we just had a 40-minute race. I've got Oliver Bryant sharing with me, and anybody who knows historic racing will know Oliver very well. He's incredibly fast. He's been keeping me on my toes, that's for sure. The Lotus Elite I've just got out of, qualified that one on pole. So again, that's another ex-works car. That was the car gifted to Peter Arundel for winning the Formula Junior Championship in 1960 by Colin Chapman. And then that went on to be a Team Elite car that was used across the world, honestly. Like, if you look at the history on that one, it's pretty impressive. A little 1200cc, 118 horsepower, but it doesn't weigh anything, so you can drive it flat out. Delighted to have had a solid qualifying in that, so P1 tomorrow for that race. And in about kind of half an hour, we're off out with a Lola for qualifying. So that'll be an interesting one. It's just poured with rain, so I think that's going to give us a bit of an advantage versus like the T70 with the big V8 cars. Because down the Kemmel Straight, the little 1800 in the back of that thing seems a little gassed. But no, it's delighted to be here, and any time you get to do an event at Spa, it's always pretty special.